I've got a story for you, and trust me, you'll want to stay with me till the end. You see, not all cars are built the same. Some cars promise a lot, but when the rubber meets the road, especially on long trips, they fall flat. But the 2011 Ford Edge? Oh, it's different. Imagine you're about to hit the road on a 10-hour drive. The type of trip where every mile counts, and the slightest discomfort can turn your adventure into a nightmare. You need a car that feels like a home on wheels. A car that won't break down halfway. A car that, once you're in it, you know you're going to get to your destination in one piece, happy and relaxed. Now, the 2011 Ford Edge doesn't just start. It roars. It's like the dependable, silent hero that sits in the background until you call on it. It may not seem like much at first, but wait until you experience its smooth handling, its quiet power on the open road. It's like a ship gliding across calm waters. Every traveler, every family, every road tripper who first sat in that driver's seat was surprised by just how reliable it felt. You'd think they'd found a secret weapon, but no, it was just Ford, doing what Ford does best. But it's not just the power that makes the Edge stand out. Imagine this, it's a long, boring drive. You're tired, your legs are cramping, but instead of frustration, you find comfort. Soft seats that cradle you like pillows, spacious legroom that makes you forget you've been driving for hours, and a cooling system that feels like a breath of fresh air in the middle of a desert. It's as if this car was made to conquer long distances. But wait, there's more. This Ford Edge is smart, too. You ever been on a long trip and suddenly, your phone's GPS fails? Well, guess what? The 2011 Ford Edge has an inbuilt navigation system that saves the day. With a click, the maps come up, guiding you as if you had your very own travel buddy. It's like the car is saying, I got you. Let's keep going. Let's fast forward a bit. Picture this, it's you, your family, and a road trip that stretches over hours of endless highway. Kids in the back, bags packed, and snacks ready. Now, long-distance travel with family can be stressful, to say the least. The constant, "Are we there yet?" and the sudden pit stops for bathroom breaks can test anyone's patience. But here's the beauty of the 2011 Ford Edge, it's like this car was designed with your family in mind. The kids are comfy in the back because there's plenty of space to stretch out. No more elbow fights or squishing into tight corners. And the entertainment system? Lifesaver. With screens built into the back of the headrests, the kids can zone out watching their favorite shows, which means fewer interruptions and more peaceful driving. It's like having a portable movie theater on wheels. So, while they're caught up in their cartoons, you're cruising down the road, soaking in the quiet moments. Now, if you've ever driven with a full load, you know how heavy a car can feel. But here's the thing, the Edge doesn't just carry the weight, it practically floats. You barely feel the load because the suspension system is built for comfort. Every bump on the road, the car absorbs it like a sponge. You don't get that jerky, bone-rattling jolt that most other cars would give you. Instead, the Ford Edge feels smooth, like you're gliding on a freshly paved road, even when you're not. As the miles roll on, you suddenly realize you've been driving for hours without even feeling the usual tiredness. Why? Because the 2011 Ford Edge knows how to keep you in control, while letting you relax. The steering is so responsive, it's like the car reads your mind. You turn the wheel, and it follows with ease. It's as if the Edge wants you to feel like a professional driver, even if you're just going to see grandma a few towns over. And let's not forget about the gas tank. This isn't one of those cars that guzzles fuel like a hungry monster. The Ford Edge is efficient, giving you more miles per gallon, so you can travel longer without worrying about running dry in the middle of nowhere. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Imagine you're on a long trip, and out of nowhere, the skies darken. The wind picks up, and before you know it, you're in the middle of a storm. Heavy rain is pounding on the windshield, the road is slick, and visibility is down to almost nothing. Any other car? You'd be nervous. But in the Ford Edge, you feel prepared. That's the thing, this car doesn't just look good, it's ready for anything. With all-wheel drive, the Edge grips the road like a cat hanging onto a branch. No slipping, no sliding. The tires cling to the road, even in the worst conditions, keeping you safe and steady. You don't have to worry about hydroplaning or losing control because the Edge's traction control kicks in like a superhero swooping in to save the day. It's as if the car whispers, "Don't worry. I've got this." And let me tell you about the headlights. These aren't your average, dim, squint-to-see lights. The 2011 Ford Edge comes with powerful beams that cut through the rain like a lighthouse guiding a ship to shore. Every drop of rain, every slippery curve, you see it all. No surprises here. And that's what makes the Edge special. When things get tough, it's there to keep you and your family safe. But there's one more thing. You know those long drives where your arms feel sore from gripping the wheel too hard, especially in bad weather? Well, the Ford Edge has thought of that too. Its steering is light but firm, so even in the storm, your hands don't feel like they're wrestling the wheel. It's as if the car does half the work for you, letting you focus on the road ahead with less effort and more confidence. By now, you're probably thinking, okay, but does this car have a breaking point? Well, here's the twist. Even after hours on the road, the 2011 Ford Edge still feels fresh. You've driven all day, and yet, when you park and step out, it's like you've just started. No sore back, no stiff legs, no groggy post-drive haze. You feel energized because the car made sure you were comfortable the whole way. And let's not forget the little things. The tiny features that make a big difference. Like the cup holders that perfectly fit your drink, or the whisper-quiet engine that makes it feel like you're cruising in silence, even when you're hitting highway speeds. Or the way the car seems to read the road ahead, adjusting itself to every twist and turn, as if it's one step ahead of you. But here's the real magic of the 2011 Ford Edge. You don't realize just how good it is until you've arrived at your destination. It's that moment when you step out of the car, look back at it, and think, wow, that was a good ride. It's the kind of car that makes you want to drive more, take more trips, and explore new places just because you know the journey will be as enjoyable as the destination. So, why did the 2011 Ford Edge become the go-to car for long-distance travelers? It's simple. It's not just a car, it's a companion. It's the type of ride that makes long trips feel short, that turns tough roads into smooth highways, and that takes the stress out of travel. Whether you're driving through city streets, cruising down highways, or navigating stormy weather, the Edge has your back. And that's why so many long-distance travelers trust it. They know that once they're in the driver's seat, they've got everything they need. Comfort, safety, power, and reliability, all wrapped up in one incredible machine. It's the kind of car that makes you want to hit the road, even when you don't have to. So, the next time you're planning a long trip, remember this story. Remember the 2011 Ford Edge and how it quietly became the hero of the open road. And maybe, just maybe, it'll become your go-to ride too.